recording. Okay, y'all. So I am super, super, super excited about this. First of all, my girl Kelsi is going to speak to y'all, give your best. She's going to give her best tips and tricks for signing distributors. I don't know if y'all know, but a few weeks ago, corporate did kind of like whoever signs the most distributors from like a Friday, Sunday, and they sent them a prize. And I know Kelsi was one of the top enrollers. She's an Emerald leader. She's super, super close to Diamond. And I'm just thankful that you're able to get on here and pour into us. So if you want to, go ahead and mute yourself, tell a little bit of your story, and we'll go from there.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay? Good. Okay. I'm in my car right now, so I was making sure you could hear me. But I'm Kelsi. Like she said, I'm an Emerald leader. I've been in It Works for about 2 years now. I just had my 2-year anniversary like last week. So, but I joined this business as a typical broke college student. I mean, I know we've all heard those stories, but I joined this business. I kind of throughout my entire life was kind of set in stone that I was going to be a veterinarian. That was kind of the course that I was given from childhood. It was like, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to college for 8 to 12 years. You're going to get your doctorate and you're going to be a vet. And from middle school and high school, even I was gaining like certifications to where like legally I could go work on an animal right now. I just can't do surgery because I don't have a doctorate. So all these things are happening. And then I got to college and I realized that 8 to 12 years of college is a lot. And I kind of went through this like whirlwind of what do I do with my life? This isn't what I want anymore. I don't want to be in school for 12 years. That's a lot of money that I didn't have at the time. And I just wasn't happy there. I wasn't passionate about it anymore. I, was one of those girls that was like major hopping. It was like 1 week I was a psych major. The next week I was looking at education. Like I had no clue what I wanted to do. And I also have always struggled with mental health, and it kind of was in the back, I guess. And then when I got to college, it was very in the forefront of my brain. Like I was struggling with it really hard. I didn't have money for gas. I didn't have money to go out with friends. So that left me taking max amount of credit hours, volunteering on the equestrian team, working nonstop, doing all these things. I had no time for myself, and I didn't have money or time to even go out with friends. So when I wasn't working or I wasn't doing schoolwork, I was just laying in my bed in my dorm room by myself while everyone else was out because I couldn't afford to go out. And, one night I was scrolling through social media and I came across a Hosta post because I actually joined from a Hosta post that my enroller Laura did. And I just had this like gut feeling, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to text her. I joined on the spot, asked 0 questions. I just went for it. Like I was one of those girls who joined like that and didn't ask anything until after I joined. I like honestly had no clue what I just did, and I just went for it. And, from there, my why has developed a lot. I feel like when you join this business and you see that you're able to dream bigger, a lot of times your why develops and it changes a little bit. And that's exactly what happened for me. I went from, being, okay, I just want money. I'm broke. I want to be able to get my nails done. I want to be able to go get a slice of pizza with friends, be able to afford $2 for that, to realizing, what I don't want for my life. And I feel like that's something that's so powerful is oftentimes when we think about our why, we think about what we want. But for a lot of people, it's what we didn't want. And for me, that was definitely the case. Growing up, I never had a stable home. We were house hopping. We never had a place of our own. Literally right now we're moving out of this house. I actually am moving to Florida in June, but I'm still with my mom right now. And we're moving out right now. That's why I'm in my car. So it's like all these things are happening. And I kind of realized, I didn't want that for my life. I want to be able to provide a stable home for my kids. And that was another reason I didn't want to be a vet, is because I didn't want to be in school for 12 years and then working all hours of the night and all these things. I wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. I wanted them to have a stable home. And, I just learned what I didn't want. So that's kind of my story. And now because of this business, I've been able to do so many things. Laura and I and my other friends in the business, we travel literally every single month. I'm sitting in my dream car because of this business. And I don't say that to brag. I'm saying that to know that it is possible. I did that within a couple months of joining this business. So that right there goes to say, if you put your head down and you don't compare, you put your blinders on, honestly, it's ignorance on fire. You can do such amazing things in this business. So yeah, this business has been great for me, and it's my story.
Yes, I love that. Who loved that? Drop me some fire if you love that, because, I think too, like we have a lot of moms on here, but I also think that sometimes it's so good to hear from people, that maybe don't have kids yet, and they're able to work this business. And I just love that. And I love the fact that you're an Emerald and you're sitting in your dream car. That literally just goes to show you cannot chase the rank, you chase the bank. And I think that we've experienced that a lot this last month from one of our girls as well. But truly, like when you set your mind to anything, you can literally do anything. So are you good with me just hopping in and asking some questions? Okay, cool. So how do you sign most of your distributors?
So I won't say that there's a specific like one place that I find most of my distributors. I feel like it's split pretty evenly because what I have learned and is so important is social media can be a little unpredictable. Your Instagram can get hacked, your Facebook can get hacked, your TikTok can get shut down. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you do that and then something happens, you're going to be like, what do I do now? And it's going to throw you through a loop. So something that's been super important to me is always being prepared in case something did happen. So I work Instagram, I work Facebook, and I work TikTok. I will say last month, probably primarily from TikTok, funneling to my Instagram. And I know we're going to talk about TikTok later and how I do that. But I would say it's pretty evenly split. And it's just super important to be consistent on every profile because, like I said, you never know. Your account could get shut down. Something can happen. Always being prepared for that and just staying consistent on each channel.
I love that. I think that's something that I teach too is like, a lot of us do host a post. I don't know. I'm assuming you do host a post too. But, sometimes with Facebook, you just never know. You never know if you're going to get blocked. You never know how long you're going to get blocked. You just never know. So if you have those different social media platforms, if you're blocked from one, you're able to hop onto the next and do the things that you need to do to make sure that you're working your business every single day. So cool. I like that. Okay. So what do you do? I know that how many distributors do you typically sign every month? Do you have like a set number?
Kind of ranges. Last month was about 25. I think the month before was about 15. So anywhere from like 10 to 30, it just kind of ranges.
I love that. Okay. So how do you teach the duplication within your team? Like when you're signing up distributors and you want them to sign up their own distributors?
So I feel like the biggest thing right off the bat I will say about that is we work so hard to enroll these distributors. We follow up, we have the conversations, we do all this work before. It is so important that you work just as hard for your team after they join as before. Because yeah, it's great to have that enrollment, but what does it matter if they quit in 2 days because you pieced out and were like, oh, thanks for your welcome screenshot. I can go send it in a chat and show that I enrolled. Now I'm not going to help you. So I feel like it's super important to not only be there for them, but to connect with them. So I feel like the biggest thing that has caused the duplication effect is building a sense of community and relationship with them. Before they join, I am sharing my story. I'm getting to know them. I want to know exactly how much money they're looking to make. I know their goals before they join. In my conversations, I'm asking, what amount of money is going to help you breathe right now? What are you struggling with right now? Do you have debt you need to pay off? Do you want to be able to stay home with your kids? Are you just looking for extra spending cash? Like, I know all those things and I'm sharing my story and I'm relating to them. If they say they have a dog, I'm talking about my dog. If they say they have kids, I want kids in the future. Like I'm connecting with them in any way possible. And then I feel like that right there kind of keeps them closer to the fire. They're closer to you. If they're feeling nervous, they're feeling overwhelmed, as most newbies do, they're comfortable coming to you. And from there, I'm continuing the relationship. I'll be sending training steps, but then I'm also getting to know them more. Send training step, have regular conversation in between. I'm not just like, okay, do this, do this, do this, accept your tax info. Now let's do host to post. I'm not just rolling them through training as quick as I can. I'm getting them through training, but I'm also building a relationship. And from there, I am hand holding. I basically teach them like a newborn baby from the moment before they even get started to after. I'm saying, here's how you get on Zoom. Here's how you're going to download it. Here's how you put the code in. I'm teaching them everything because we don't know what we don't know and they don't know what they don't know. So if we don't know that they don't know what Zoom even is, that's not going to do anybody any good. So I'm building relationships with them. I am hand holding. I'm sending them each individual step, but also I find out how my girls learn best. So training is tailored to each individual person. If I have a visual learner, me sending an audio spouting out all these things to do is going to make their head spin. So I'll send screen recordings of me doing it and I'll turn my microphone on because I have an iPhone. So I'll just send a screen recording, turn the microphone on. I'm talking over it and I'm saying, here's how we interact. Here's how I add people. Here's how I message. I'm literally showing them step by step by step. That way also it fits their schedule best because I can send that screen recording and they can listen to it 2 hours later when they get off work and that's totally fine. So I feel like just working closely and not having, a one size fits all kind of training, like yes, having your guidelines, having your boards with your steps, but you want them to learn best. So if they're an auditory learner or they're a visual learner, or if they're confused on something, don't just send them the next step. Stop, hop on coaching calls with them, send screen recordings, however they learn best is what I'm doing.
Ooh, that's so good, y'all. That is so good. And you know what? I think it's so true. You literally blow people up. At least I do. I blow people up. I mean, I have people on here that I followed up with them for 5 years, and now like they're amazing. They blow it up out the water. But like, not only am I following up with these people, but when you hit submit, it's my job to teach you the things to be successful, because let's be real, you do not go far in this business by just signing up some bodies and like not teaching them the things that you're doing every single day, day in and day out. And you know, I've been in this business for 7 years, and sometimes you have to take a step back and realize I know all these things because I've been doing this for 7 years, but a brand new person doesn't know what host to post is. They don't understand the algorithm on Facebook. They don't understand the importance of the consistency in this every single day. So I really like that you take the steps, and it's not just like okay, this is how you're going to do it, period. You literally find out how this person learns and then you teach them, because I think, you know, I did a Zoom with Cami a few weeks ago, and that's something that she said is like, not everyone is going to fit in this perfect circle. So I love the fact that you're able to like connect with them, learn about them, and then train them how they need to be trained. So let me ask you this. I know that obviously you're signing anywhere from 10 to 30 distributors, which is straight fire. So how do you manage to work this business, but like also live a life as well?
Yeah. So first thing is just no matter what, if you're signing 30 distributors, give yourself some grace, because there's going to be moments where you're a little overwhelmed and you're like, holy cow, I have so many newbies on my team that don't know what they're doing and I have to teach them all. And also I need to walk my dog. I need to do the things. Like, just know that you're human. Give yourself some grace, because you're going to have moments no matter how organized you are. And I feel like the other thing is for me, I'm a big timer person. Like, I have alarms going off all day long. So what I do is I will put a green heart next to all my newbies, and I go to my text. I will text every single person with a green heart. I'll just go to my contacts, send them all a message, just checking in with them, asking if they have any questions, sending the next steps, sending whatever training they need. And then I set an hour alarm, and my girls know for an hour I'm doing my self-development and I'm starting to get work done. I will not answer for that hour. And just know that that's okay, because you can't stretch yourself too thin. That is how you're going to get burned out. You're going to get flustered. You're going to have all these bad things happening if you put so much pressure on yourself. So I feel like it's just super important to kind of set like time blocking apart almost. So like I have that little bit of time with my girls. Like I said, I just sent a green heart. That's how I stay organized with it. When you're signing that many people at once, it's kind of hard to remember like all the names in your brain all at once. So I use the green heart. I text everyone. I'm sending them the next step. I'm checking in, and I'm asking them every day, like for the first like week, like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you excited? Like, because I want to know if they're overwhelmed and they're nervous and they're freaking out. Because if I don't know that, that's when you have people quit, when they're hiding it behind closed doors. And then, like I said before, if you're building that relationship with them, that's the difference between them coming to you and them calling customer service and just piecing out and not telling you. That's the difference right there. So the morning is just really honing in on them and their training, but also making sure that they're good. And then I'm taking an hour for myself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So I'm doing my self-development. I'm starting to get some work done. And then once I send out a batch of messages and I get my self-development done, then I'm going back and I'm setting another training step, the audios, whatever they need done. So I would just say time blocking, setting out alarms. Also, I travel a lot. So not every single day is going to be the same time schedule, but I just kind of break it apart throughout my days and I communicate that with my girls. I feel like that's so important. Is sometimes as leaders, we feel like, oh, we have to hide the bad things that are going on in her life. We can't tell our team that because we need to be positive. We need to do all the things. Yes, in a way that's correct, but also they're going to relate to you a lot more if you're like, listen, my day is crazy. Like, I'm answering you as I can. And you're like explaining them your day, because they see that it's possible when they have a busy schedule. So I feel like not hiding that from your team, and also relying on your leaders. So if you do have leaders on your team, communicating that with them so they know that from this time to this time, you're doing X, Y, Z. Like, just keeping everyone in the loop. I communicate it well. And like I said, I just set alarms. If I'm traveling, my girls know that. If I have life going on like I do right now outside this car, they know that. So I just feel like communication and just time blocking the best that you can. And I try to get the majority of stuff done with my team in the morning. That way, if my day goes crazy later on, I know I've at least set that time apart for them in the morning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know what? Also, when I first started this business, you didn't take days off. Like a Sabbath wasn't a thing. You worked 24/7, and literally, like, that's just how it was. There was no BB in showers. There was no BB. That's just kind of how it was. And, throughout the years, people are kind of like, okay, you do need to take a break. And, 7 years for me, it's like, if you're planning on making this a career, you have to have your time off. You have to find a balance. And I know for me, it's like, it was a struggle for me for a long time, but now it's like, I get my stuff done in the mornings, like while my kids are at school. And by the time they get out of school, I have 2 kids. We're every single day going somewhere. My work is already done. And even if it's not fully done, I'm not going to sleep until I finish the things that I have to do, because that's what is a priority to me. Because, if I want to stay home with my kids and do the things that I do now, I have to make sure that the money is coming in. And guess what? This is my only income. So I have to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do. So speaking of self-development, what do you do for self-development?
So I typically do a podcast for about 30, 40 minutes to an hour in the morning, just depending on how much self-development I need that day. Like I'll say 30, 40 minutes is my minimum, but there's days where you wake up not in the best mood. Those are the days where I'm going to be doing closer to an hour, hour and a half. But minimum, usually 45 minutes. I'll listen to podcasts. And I can text you like some names of people I like too, if you want to set them like your team chats and that sort of things. But Cheyenne Knox, I'm listening to her podcast. The Pam Souter podcast I listen to, Ed Milet, Rob Dial, like all those people. And then there's one I'll have to send you. It's like motivational something, like they're little like short, like 4-minute ones. I'll listen to those while I start working too. So I'll set time to where I'm fully focused journaling and listening to a podcast for the first 45 minutes. From then I'm having it go in the background as I'm working as well. So I have full intentional soaking it in time of my self-development. And then I have it in the background still kind of going as well. So usually podcasts, and then I try to listen to at least one Zoom a day. And I usually do the Zooms towards the night.
I love that. I love that. And please, yes, I will get that list sent in our chats after this. So thank you for that. And then what are your non-negotiables? I'm looking at our task list that I sent you, and I'm like, I probably should have organized these a little bit better. I'm like all over the place. But I literally just asked some of my diamonds and above, what are some questions? And I just copied them and sent them to you. So I didn't even look at them until today. So, but yeah, what are your non-negotiables every single day?
Yeah, you're all good. So I use the basic like KPI kind of task list, but my non-negotiables are going to be what they call, I guess, like the core 4. I don't know if you guys are familiar like with the core 4, but basically it's like following up, messaging, host to post, self-development. Like the main 4 things is why I get done first thing in the morning, because if my life goes crazy, I want to have that done in the morning. I want to have at least 10 host posts up before noon. I want to have my self-development done. I want to have sent out at least 100 messages. I personally send 100 on Instagram, 100 on Facebook, at least in the morning. So I'll send, before I even get out of bed, what I do is I send out 50 messages and I add about 50 people on each platform. I have that done. I go make my coffee. I post my coffee story. I do self-development for 45 minutes. Like I said, full soaking in it, journaling, all that. And then once I have some playing in the background, I'll send out another batch of messages, follow up, and those things as well. So mainly following up from there. And then I do interacting, the things that are important, but I would much rather have my messages sent out and then things go crazy and, then interact in the morning and then not have time to message, if that makes sense. So I try to get those things done in the morning, and then things that are kind of less of a priority but still need to get done, like interacting, is later in the day. So I'm going to be interacting later, growing my market more later, but I want the bulk of my messages, my follow-ups, and my host to post and my self-development done first thing in the morning. And then the rest of the things on KPI or on that task list, which I'll send you the task list that I use as well, is done and later in the day.
And is 10 like how many host to post you aim to get up every single day, or what's that number?
So Instagram post to post, I'm usually getting at least 10 up. And I can send you I have a template. I can send you the template I send my girls. But I use distributor host to post, and then I have a gummies host to post. I send both. And I say, I'll give you 2 entries. Here's 2 stories, or you can pick one. 9 times out of 10, they put up both. So, but I count each person as a host to post. So if they're putting up 2, that's still counting for 1 for me personally. So I want 10 people putting up stories for me on Instagram, and then 5 to 10 on Facebook as well. So overall 15 to 20, but at least 10 on Instagram and then 5 to 10 on Facebook.
And that's every single day, right?
Yeah.
Every single day, y'all. You hear that? Not like 5 to 10 Monday and then Friday, like every single day. And something that is crucial to know is the more you do, the more results you're going to see. So you really can't be mad at yourself if you get 10 up at 10 in the morning and then you still have five hours, of free time. You can't be mad if you go get up 10 more, right? So I like that you said that. So typically around 20 host to post every single day. I love that. And then I know TikTok, you're using TikTok. How many TikToks do you post? Are you posting daily on there?
So I kind of have two answers for that. So if you are someone who just started your TikTok, you're still growing your following. What I did when I was at that stage is I was posting about 3 every single day. I was posting 1 in the morning, 1 at night, or 1 in the middle of the day. And if you have work, drafts, set a day. Like for me personally, I mainly do this business. I babysit some occasionally, but I don't work a full 9 to 5 anymore, but I did when I first got started. So what I would do for answer for that person is take an evening, take a weekend, your day off, and stock up, change shirts, change outfits. That way you can go on your bathroom break, run to the bathroom, and click post on your draft real quick. And that way you kind of have no excuse but to get those up. They're already there and they're ready for you. So when I was first doing TikTok, it was about 3 a day, and I would post 1 at night, and this I still do. 1 at night right before I fall asleep. So between 10:30, 11 is usually when I go to bed. I post it, I clear out of the app. I do not open it until the next morning after my self-development. I don't know why, but that has been what works best for me. TikTok algorithm. I feel like the ones that blow up for me are usually ones I post right before I fall asleep and do not open the app. Don't know why. TikTok's kind of weird with that, but I just don't open it back up, like I said. And then if I have one blow up, I will comment. So if it's for a giveaway, I'll say DM me giveaway on my Instagram for a faster reply, and I pin that comment so everyone sees it, and then it funnels them to my Instagram. Now that my TikTok has kind of grown a lot, and so I typically shoot for every other day I post a video, or every day. It just kind of depends, because if I have 99 plus DMs and I'm clearing and refreshing and it's still 99, it's blowing up because I had several viral videos. Sometimes I will have to take 3 days to play catch up, which is kind of where I'm at right now. So if you look at my TikTok, it's been a couple days because my DMs are insane. I try to keep up with it when they go viral. But like I said, give yourself grace, know that you're one person. And then once that slows down a little bit, then I put another one up. So I kind of have two answers. If you're someone who doesn't have videos going viral right now, I would say 2 to 3 every single day. It's a numbers game. If you put it up consistently, you're going to have one go off. And then another tip for TikTok as far as that goes is, I feel like a lot of people, we go to top leaders and we look at what they're posting. That's great. Copy the right cat, do it. But what I have found works better for me and my TikTok personally, at least, is I will take an idea from a top leader, like how they laid out their video, but I don't use their sound. I go to my personal For You page and I do what I call intentional scrolling. I give myself a 5-minute break. It's usually while I'm eating. And I scroll for about 5 minutes, and any sound I hear over 3 times, I save, because that means it is going viral on my personal platform. And that is the sound I use at night before I go to bed. So I will use that sound. I will post a weight loss or a giveaway. Those are the 2 I do most. And I occasionally do a distributor one in there. And I posted, like I said, I don't open the app until the next day. And I feel like that works best. So if you're still growing your platform, I would say 2 to 3 a day. If your platform's kind of blowing up right now, then I would try to do at least 1 every couple of days.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I'd have to look. I can check real quick.
I was just curious. And will you send me your TikTok after this too, so they can go and look? Yeah. I like TikTok too. And, I think too, TikTok is always changing. I actually listened to a video a few weeks ago, and it was for you to get on the For You page, because I know now they're not really pushing For You page as much as they were when they first started, TikTok. And it was you need to post at least 4 videos every single day, and that's going to up your chances of getting on the For You page. And, it's so crazy because we work social media, and I feel like TikTok is the one thing we can't figure out. It's always changing, and so we never know. So if you can send me your stuff after that, I would appreciate it. And is there anything, I think I've asked everything that they wanted to know, but is there anything you want to add? I definitely appreciate you getting on here and just spending this 30 minutes with us too.
Yeah, of course. So I feel like at the end of the day, when you're wanting to enroll all these distributors, if you aren't enrolling what you want to enroll now, give yourself some grace, but no, look at your systems. this is kind of I had to check myself a couple months ago because I noticed my distributor enrollments were going down. I was like, what is happening? And I realized that once they joined, I was not prepared. And I feel like the moment that you're like, okay, I don't have a system in place, your enrollments are going down because you're not really prepared for that enrollment. And then the moment I had boards, I had systems in place, I knew how I was training my girl, that's when an overflow of distributors were coming. So I feel like if you don't like your enrollments right now, give yourself some grace, but then check yourself, figure out what's going on, figure out what you need to fix. If you don't have a system, think of a system, get with your enroller, get with your girls, figure out what is going to work best. Laura's my upline, her and I collaborated and made a really good training in our boards that we use. But like I said, I tailor to each person. So yes, I have that boards as an outline, but I'm sending those screen recordings. I'm sending audios. I'm not just clicking, oh, here's a message send, here's a message send. I'm not doing that. I'm sending the audios. I'm honing in on their training and creating a community with them. But just utilizing the training that you do have and making sure you have a system, because that's when you're going to see those enrollments go up because you're going to be prepared for them. And then also I feel like something that's really big and I talk to my team about is you can want to enroll 20 girls a month, 30 girls a month. You can want to enroll all these people. Okay. But if you aren't prepared for it and you don't put in the work, you're not going to have those enrollments. I can't just sit here in my car and say, dang, I really want to enroll 4 customers in distributor today. I want to do 4 in one day and then not touch my phone, not put in the work. So I feel like my biggest tip to you guys is give yourself some grace. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be this great glamorous person on TikTok. If you look at my TikTok 9 times out of 10, I'm in like a sweatshirt, I have no makeup on. It does not matter, but just making sure that you're staying consistent, you're putting in the work, and you're prepared for when you do have those overflow of distributors and you're creating relationships with them. So that would be my tips.
So good. I love that. I really, really love that. And I appreciate you getting on here. Really, I think too, it says a lot about you because you're an Emerald leader and here you are, pop on a Zoom, no questions. Like, yeah, I'll get on. Just tell me the day. It's fine. And I really like that you said put in the work, because here's the thing. So many people want to go diamond. They want to go double. They want to make $6,000 a month. They want to do these things, but then they're nowhere to be found. Their actions are nowhere. And I would rather go by someone's actions versus the words that they speak to me, because actions is really where it's at, you know? And I think too, in this business, you know, even 6 months from now, your why may change, right? You may hit your goals and your why may change. And I think in this business, we're constantly building, we're constantly growing ourselves. So I really, really liked everything you had to say. And I definitely appreciate it. I'm going to stop the recording.